everyone, and welcome to Better Together as One. I'm Margaret Wallace-Duffy, and we are thrilled to be taking the show on the road into your community. And today we are in downtown Georgetown, just around the corner from my house, with a very special community business owner who I am so excited to share his brilliance and his story with all of you. I'm so excited to introduce Jeff Martin, the owner of Clover, and of course a holistic health practitioner with a story that you are not going to believe. Welcome, Jeff.
Well, thank you for having me, Margaret.
You know, as an integrative health professional myself that's owned a clinic for 28 years, our paths have crossed, and I gotta love how this campaign has brought us together. And what I've learned from you and the stories I've heard, not just from you, but from people that are seeing you, are jaw-dropping. But all of that comes from your story. Can you tell everybody, sort of back when you were in your 20s, we're not going to say how old he is now, but back when you're in your 20s, when you should be vital, you were in the tech world, you're working in the tech world and on the top of your game, but your health wasn't. At 26 years of age, let's start there and tell everybody what it was like for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Working in a new career in programming and new media, I thought I would remain healthy, but didn't necessarily live the healthiest lifestyle. And that seemed to have caught up with me, and right away symptoms included falling asleep while driving. So for me that was scary. There was a list of other symptoms that occurred, but those I tend to just fight through the everyday grind. But when I was falling asleep while driving at the age of 26, that's what really scared me, and was time to go see doctors and find out what was going on. So from that point on, after a lot of appointments, I was diagnosed with a long list of things, upwards of 7 different diseases.
And so let's talk about that. And I don't want to certainly male bash here, but I do think, all of us tend to want to wait till things are broken and we ignore the signs in our body. But I think that what I love about your story is that you're a man, and men tend to want to be strong, and they don't share the way they're feeling. Let's talk about the list of things, from falling asleep and actually being on the 401 and having somebody knock on your door because you were stopped in traffic. But what other symptoms were you having that so many viewers are going to relate to?
Yeah, I remember having a great memory when I was younger, and having a foggy brain or just the lack of memory really started to bother me. In addition to that, I was diagnosed with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and officially it was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. Doctors described that as a 9 out of 10. Which they said was equivalent to somebody that was twice my age, and they figured I wouldn't live long into my years if I continued at this rate. Other symptoms were just tired, constipation, and one that was quite odd was I just had no strength in my legs, so I had difficulty walking and just moving in the morning, and it felt like I had ran a marathon, yet I hadn't. So it all started to add up quite quickly, and for me, I think it was more of a blessing where I got onto the right track, which I think I wouldn't be here if I didn't make changes.
Well, we have someone in common, an amazing family doctor who really does believe in integrative health, but back then, that many years ago, he looked at you and said, I really should be putting you on 7 different medications. I don't really want to do that. And you wanted to dive deeper and figure out the why, sort of that tech brain in you. You wanted to dive deeper. Can you, we don't have a lot of time to delve in too deeply, but can you talk a little bit about what your next steps were and how you got to here?
Yeah. Being dealt this hand, I started making changes according to what the doctors were telling me to do. But at the same time, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So for me, it was, how do we help ourselves? How do I get out there and do some research? And luckily, I found some information and got onto the right track by changing, my lifestyle, my eating habits. I was eliminating foods while taking nutritional supplements, and just having a whole new view in an industry or area that I knew nothing about. So for me, it was wanting to learn and see the results. So I continued to visit doctors and they saw results, and their encouragement was keep doing whatever it is you're doing. It's obviously working.
And I gotta love that, because keep doing whatever you're doing, which meant you were on your own. And we believe here at this show that we want to empower people to become the CEO of your health and your life. So stay tuned, because we've got 2 more segments coming up. We're going to actually walk you through the process of what would you do if you came here? What kind of assessments does Jeff do? We're going to see a testimonial, somebody's real life story, because there are thousands of them, and so much more. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here at Better Together as One.